at the close ever. I am racing against the clock as a blizzard hits southeast, well, more than just southeast Michigan, but it's landing where I am right now, and I need to get home. So let's do at the close. Half hour left in the trading day. You have questions, we have answers, or we at least we have charts, and we have ourselves. We got me, we got Joel, we got you. Let's go ahead and start at the close right now. All right, it is time for pre-market prep at the close.
3 consecutive highs, opened, matched yesterday's low, and then once it took out there, that's all the breakout momentum traders needed.
All right, Joel. Good afternoon. What's up, man? How we doing?
Well, it's a good day. It's a real good day. It's not a little bit of bumpy, and we could talk about the open
Yeah.
failure, and then comes back down. And folks, when we talk about the close, I talk about the close for a reason. Yesterday's close in the SPOOs, 45.35. Your low, which was below the pre-market low, 35 even. People were short, trying to get out at the mark. I got nothing up here. I literally have nothing up here till our 9-day high at 94 and a quarter. Our 10-day high is 46.03. I'm refusing to put any higher numbers on my sheet tomorrow. I'm tired of this rally. Crude up and down and all around. It all just ends up 9 cents here at 89.29. Everyone's waiting for that 90. Probably a bunch of buy stops up there at 90 for a breakout or cover shorts. Gold in the green by 5:30 at 1806.80. Silver, same percentage, up 6.5 cents, 22.66. Bitcoin, not a safe haven today. That's down $1,100 at 37,485. And Ethereum, that's going the same way too. That's down 76.50 at 26.98.
So let's just go and go. We can go back to the S&Ps, or we can go to the Nasdaq or whatever. You can go into any tech stock, but let's talk about that open, Joel, because I if I could give myself a little bit of a credit here, I definitely did not allow myself to get sucked in for from the last couple of days. I was that has burned me in the past, but it did not burn me today because I was feeling just not convinced,
That was big
and
open.
it was a bit of a flush off the open here.
Yeah, and your leadership. I mean, I think there's some reasons for this. Uh, the sell off and something like the Googs there. I mean, that's a big move, right? And what if you just what that thing closed with? Let's say 27.50. Once again, using the options as an example here, you're long the 2,900 calls. You paid some exorbitant amount of money for them, and here you are being able to lock something in off the open. Once again, you see the action right up to 9:15. Your 9:30 price action gave a lot of it back, and then rallied back. So still a good day for the Googster. That looks like it got about mid range. I think keep in mind that psychological 3K level. Just for tomorrow, just the way it bounced here on the 15-minute, that kind of stopped it. Same thing with AMD. Big move for AMD.
Mm-hmm.
132 pre-market high, but once again, sellers locking things in at the open, still having a good day, but not filling the gap. One that didn't come back here, Amazon. This is not a good day for Amazon. Open up, boom, 3,100, and now red on the session, and not coming back with the rest of the Fang family. Facebook. Now that reports, people are like, "Whew, are you kidding me? It's like a good report already." So that didn't get anywhere near the pre-market high. I covered the AMD. So yeah, there was some
Yeah.
sell-offs, but
Today's
that's what happens.
a bit of a weird day because if you look at the surface, you say, okay, well, the S&P and the Nasdaq are both up, and the Russell is down, but the Dow is so. Three of the four major indexes are up, and you look at the sectors. You say, "Oh, all right, every sector is in the green. Every single sector is up today. Oh, it must be a broadly good day." However,
Oh,
if you go beyond that, there are actually more there are more decliners than there are gainers today. There are more losers than there are winners today, which is interesting. So I would say, broadly speaking, sentiment is probably split somewhere around 50-50 when you account for the fact that you have a lot of the big stocks, not all, but a lot of the big stocks up, the major indexes up, but just below the surface, brought some weakness here. And I want to start, like, no one epitomizes this probably more than PayPal, which is having its worst day I think ever right now. It's down 24% today. No mercy, no mercy for PayPal.
Um, we talked about the step down seller in the pre-market, and look at this. The pre-market low was the high for the session. Holy macro! Who would have thunk that? Where did we? Is that correct? You opened at 139.89. The high was 139.90. If you're trying to buy the dip on that thing, holy mackerel, holy mackerel, you found out right away. Now, Emily Davis says it filled a gap from when? Is this going back like 100 years,
2000,
Emily?
2008 maybe. I don't know.
What
Make
is
up
she talking about here? What are you talking about, Emily? You can't throw out that kind of stuff without giving me a date. Tell me the gap. I mean, oh my gosh, it's going to take a lot. Whatever. We don't have time because Spencer has to get home, and that
I,
lodge is going to be
I, I,
slick.
I need the next 25 minutes to go extremely quickly.
Spencer, we can always let you go early too. I mean, I can handle this. I can handle this. She says May 2020. Let's
Uh,
go back. Let's go back. You know,
yeah. Oh, shit. All right. I
let's
see.
see.
I'm on the monthly. I see what she's seeing.
Well, on the is it on the is showing on the monthly?
It's not. Well, no, it's not going to show up as a gap on the monthlies. Obviously, that would be ridiculous. But I
Man.
see, like in terms of just the candle, it's basically back to.
Oh,
I
here we go. We're
Yeah,
coming up. I
yeah.
gotta see it. Because if she wrote that down, then I'm gonna say kudos to her.
Well, like here, I like this is what I'm seeing.
Here it is.
Yeah,
Here's exact is this what she's talking about?
yeah. She's talking about this, basically this giant this giant upside down V.
Wait, what? I see a little gap here from but that filled that more than some. That gap was from that was a small one. Let me see if there's an no, she's talking about another one. Oh, this is what she's talking about.
You show.
Right here. Good call, Emily. I hope you weren't shorting it the whole way up and waiting for that, but oh
Yeah.
my gosh, the low that high that day was 129.59. And what's the low today? The low today is man, oh man. Way to go, Emily. Great call. I wouldn't have looked back that far. And that's a great name too, because that's my daughter's name. But let me see
Yeah,
what the low is today.
stocks like to. We only highlight gaps for one reason. It's because stocks like to go there. That's the only reason. Why? I don't know.
129.01. All right. Wow. Well, that's great. Okay. Let's move on. Spoos at the highs, 45.85, 94 and a quarter. If this prints 94 and a quarter and you haven't left yet, we can end the show and you can leave. Let's call it 94 even, because you want to get your order out there at 94 in case because people are stepping ahead of 9-day high. It was only 9 days ago we were back
What,
up there.
what day was the? Oh, actually, it's pretty clear what day it was. The day that the rumor came out of PayPal sniffing around and
Oh,
buying Pinterest. Actually, I think you can actually see it on the chart.
right
Which
here.
was in November. No, it was in October. It was before that. It was October 8th, I think. Oh wait, actually, yeah, you can.
It's
No,
right here. I think it was November 8th. Was it
no,
November?
no. It was October 20th. October 20th. Yeah, it was October 20th.
Did
Was
that come out interday
You
though?
can actually see it. You can actually see it. Here, let's go to a.
Well, did that come out? That must have come out interday or come out on the 20th. No, that
Yeah,
came
yeah,
out interday.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I think it did too. Yeah,
Yeah,
you
it
can
dropped
actually see. You
15
can, you can
bucks.
actually see that big red candle. That's when. So anyway, so that was the day that the rumor came out that PayPal was maybe trying to buy Pinterest, and when that hit, we were at 273, somewhere around there, 273.
Oh, and
So
actually that day, the day that they had the shellacking,
yeah,
it closed at 58.36, 58.96 was the high, and it closed at 43.21,
mm,
243.21. And you know what? It's never sniffed that
The
level.
stock market is hard, man. You can get you just lost half your money in 2 months. Well, 3 months.
Do you
3 months.
think someone's getting fired? Like the guy that said, "Hey, maybe we should buy." Who was it? Pin interest, pins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of Pinterest, you want to pull up that chart, Joel? Pinterest is looking bad. There was an article. I think it was last week I saw from the information. They've had like a number of high level executives leave the company in the last like 5 or 6 months, and someone else just left like yesterday too. So you've had a lot of. I don't know what that means for the company, but Pinterest has been also in just a brutal downtrend. Um, and we talk about how some of these companies are going to come back and some of them are not. Um, Based on like what I know about Pinterest business and their growth, I would put this one in the latter category. It's just it doesn't nothing about this. Again, they report tomorrow, so let's see what they say on the earnings front. But if I can show you, like,
Yeah, that come out interday or something.
what?
What that article
No,
or
well, no, it came out like it didn't move the stock at all, but it was more of like, hey, this is a trend that's happening. Pinterest does historically beat. Not that that's worth anything. It may be worth nothing, but I'm just gonna look up right now on this other platform and see what Pinterest.
I just don't see how they make any money. I mean, I
I mean,
know,
it's an e-commerce play, but if e-commerce is slowing down, then um,
but everything's free on there. I mean, Lisa has it. She has it for like recipes, and then if
yeah,
you're
no,
looking
I
at
mean,
patio furniture or something, I don't. I've
yeah,
never been on
hold
it.
on. Pinterest historically is, yeah, more likely than not to trade lower after it. Well, it does actually interestingly enough, if you just go off the close of the earnings day to the very next opening, the very following day, there is an opening gap higher. More often than not, the stock does open higher on average 2%. But if you just wait till the end of that day, or the end of the next day, or the end of the week, it almost always trades lower. So Pinterest tends to give back those whatever earnings gains it has, tends to give those gains back after they report. So they report on Thursday. So now you know.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a bad candle, and, like, the only thing, we didn't cover it today. Actually, someone asked me about this one, and, you always look at the previous day's high, right? And that was 30.08. It opened above it, went to 30.27. They actually had another high at 30.21, and then boom, once it came back down to that open, that one is one that did come back.
And RJ is bringing up a great point. It's all comes down to Apple. Snapchat they threw everyone a massive curveball when they were like, "Yeah, we're not seeing any effects of Apple's new ad tracking policy." Oh wait, never mind. Yes, we are. Pinterest came out and said, "Yeah, it's affecting them." Every app based company has said it's affecting them. That's also a continuous headwind against this company. When Joel asked how they monetize, it comes down to tracking their users and selling them ads. How can you sell them ads though if you're not tracking them? So yeah, this is not a thing I would want to be in right now. But I'm not thankfully. So anyway, what I wanted to do, in addition to talking about Pinterest, which reports on Thursday, is look ahead to tonight's earnings report. Obviously, the big one is Meta, the company formerly known as Facebook. We will never forget that. Spotify also on the calendar. Qualcomm on the calendar. McKesson. That's all that interests me, pretty much.
Someone's asking about Qualcomm,
Sure.
and that's having a good day.
It is.
The reports after the close. I mean, it's just a hot sector. I mean, chips, right? Chips,
Chips.
chips.
They're flying off the shelves when they get them.
Yeah. And I'll just give you a potential target. It's not that far away. Just keep an eye on 193.58. And then if they really decide to slam it, I don't know. I really liked under 160, but I don't think you're going to see that. That interesting. It's interesting that these stocks that made a new low for the move, like Monday was the flush low, right? But Qualcomm actually made its low on Friday and then has had a tremendous rally. So, major support. It's I call this. I mean, if you wanted, if it got crazy out there, I wouldn't hold out for the 157.38. I'd just throw something out there, 160. But that's. I mean, they'd have to have a miss or a super big miss.
Um, Someone else asked about Spotify. We are going to stream that call. And Mitch, since I know you're listening, you're gonna have to set those calls up because I'm about to dip as soon as these. I'll talk to Rohan as well. But the Spotify thing, I mean, people are interested because of the whole Joe Rogan saga, but frankly, I don't think that has any effect on their business. I think there can often be a big disconnect between headlines that Main Street cares about and the headlines that Wall Street cares about. Main Street cares about Joe Rogan very, very much right now. And that whole story, Wall Street, I think, frankly, does not care at all. The one exception to that, the one way that changes is if Joe Rogan were to leave the platform, that changes
Ooh,
everything. But this is not I'm sure it'll come up on the call, frankly, but I don't think that the investing public really cares about a couple of artists leaving leaving Spotify right now over Joe Rogan's podcast. I think it's just not a thing. It's similar to the reason that the market doesn't react to car recalls. Tesla did a recall yesterday. Market don't care about that. So
no, no.
I just don't think the market will not does not care.
Wow, I just look at that chart and I say to myself, it's never going back to near $400. I mean, that's just reality. 387.44. If they start to beat this thing, 164.41, that's not too far away. Um, I'd even be using yesterday's high as a target if it started, had the nice run up. See, this is the thing where you could get PayPal, right? Because you had the rally off the low. Things are looking pretty good. Except PayPal rallied yesterday too. So this is a little bit hesitant to report. As far as like the Joe Rogan thing, I don't have any opinion on that. But
See, that's my point. That's
well,
right there, Joel. The investing public has no opinion. That's what I'm saying.
yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
All right, I hear you. Ronan says he told me about the gap on pre-market prep plus and that. Ronan, I'm sorry if I missed that. Good call. I guess you and Emily are one step ahead of me on the PayPal PYPL.
Um, Okay, wait. What else was I gonna say? Shoot, I just had something else and I forgot. Oh yeah. So we are gonna stream that Meta earnings conference call at 5 o'clock, and I think the Spotify call is also at 5 o'clock. This is Eastern time, I believe.
Are
So
you guys? I mean, are you guys out there pulling the trigger off stuff in the conference calls? I mean, if you are, boy, I hope you're quick on the draw because I mean, yeah,
yeah, but
Microsoft turned it. You guys have
they're
you
fun
guys
to
have
listen to. They're fun to listen to.
yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
And I think
I
I think you can learn a lot about a business by hearing their conference call. Um, Jonas does not understand, Joel, what you mean by a gap.
A gap is just avoiding price, Jonas. And that just means that, and some people really don't pay attention to them, but I could just illustrate the example here, right here in Spotify. You see the day it made the low of the move, and I'm going to make this real big for Jonas because I love questions here, and I love to teach, right? So it had the low of the move on this was made the low of the move on Friday too at 164.41, right? And then it had a good day on Friday, and then everyone was feeling good on Monday. Like you're just like I gotta own everything. So you had a $7 higher open, right? 172.98, and you only had a little bit of a retreat, right? To 179.53. So there's your gap. Your gap is between the previous day's high, 174.04, and the next day's low, which is 179.53. So if you're a gap fill trader and let's say you're short this thing or have some kind of puts, that would be a reasonable expectation for the stock to fill the gap. Maybe you're not going to get down to the 164.41. So there's people that look at it in a much more sophisticated way than I do. But I mean, so many times, like I'm trying to think of a stock that a lot of times is when they have the big gap down and they catch people. What's something that's had a big gap down and then it's come back and filled it? Um, I'll have to rush it through my charts tonight, but it's really more interesting is when a stock is hanging up here at 280, has a bad report, opens at 260, goes to 220, and then I know who's famous for filling the gaps on the upside. Not all the time, but I've seen Zoom. Well, that one wasn't filled. Uh well, Zoom's had more gaps. Maybe this is back before it was really getting killed. Let me see if I can find one. Well, here, I mean, you had a gap here, a gap down. That's when back when it was still a hot rod. But just they're reference points. They're not like 3 or 4 star levels, but they do come into play. Price has memory. All right, where are the
Um,
S&Ps? Have they hit 94 yet? Nope, 82.5 with an 85 high.
All right, and Jay's calling me out on the conference calls are fun comment. Okay, let me amend my statement. Conference calls aren't necessarily fun, but they can be fun to watch with other people, and they're a really good way to learn about a business, right? Just like I spend a lot of my time because I do a lot of interviews, right? I spend a lot of time looking at investor presentations, and that's cool. But the conference call is basically our way to walk. They walk you through those, right? And so you can learn a lot about a business and what numbers matter, what doesn't matter by listening to these calls. And it's fun to also judge companies by how their executives sound over the phone. Yeah, I do think calls are interesting for that reason. Exactly, interesting if you're into fundamentals. If you don't care about fundamentals, then you shouldn't care about.
Yeah, and as far as me, I mean, Triple D's the one that will get down and dirty in those earnings. But for me, I'm holding stuff. I'm holding it through the earnings, and
Yeah.
not going to make any investment trading decisions
Hey,
based on that. What
hey,
happened? What happened to Electric Last Quarter Mile Solutions here? ELMS. So you got to have some bad news on that, huh?
ELM. Oh, there was a huge volume spike. What was that about? ELMS. What happened there? There was
Short report.
the old midday short report from Fuzzy Panda Research.
Fuzzy Panda. Oh. Hey, what happened with Season Fun? Is that a done deal yet?
With what?
Season.
Oh yeah, I forgot all about that. That was 24 hours ago. I didn't even remember. No, not a done deal. I don't know. Um, Wait, I just had a thing I wanted to talk about. Oh, weird spike just there in Activision. What's that about? We just spiked up $1 in Activision. Huh.
Activision. I mean that it's trading at a huge,
Yeah.
discount to the, maybe someone got a memo that the deal is going to go through. I have no idea. I don't even know why anyone want to buy a. I play zero video games. It's not seeing much. I mean, there's a lot of $95 cash, right? There's a lot. If that's a done deal, which the street is totally thinking it's not a done deal. But yeah, a little bit, little spike up there, a little speculation. S&Ps doesn't look like 7 minutes left in the period. Stalled at 85 ahead of that 94.25 high, tapering off just a tad here and going into the close.
I'm seeing a few tickers. If you have tickers for us, drop them in the chat. I'm seeing a few fly around. Oh, here's one I've not looked at for a minute, and that's why. Pets, 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 pets. For Kareem.
You're not a Jets fan, are you?
If
What's
I
your
had to, if I had to pick one, I would pick the Jets. It's a very, very, very casual fanhood. Actually, right now, Joel. Frankly, I would call myself a Lions fan more so out of sympathy than a Jets fan.
these stocks? I mean, we do get our shipments. Chewy's dragging down the pets. I don't know what the Chewy news was, but uh, hmm, 3-for-1 stock split. PETS. Boy, oh boy. I don't know what the news is on Chewy, but just the way you had that big run up from 22 to 26, I just don't think you're gonna bolt right back down to 22. Actually, if this is gonna hold, it should hold here. It's 24. It went from just under 22 to just over 26. If you think that was a major bottom actually that bottomed on a week ago Friday ahead of the marketing bottom. But this will be if it's going to hold. Let's see if we find buyers here at the $24 area.
All right. Cleveland Cliffs for Cali. Otter.
Where do these people come up with these names?
What is it
Uh,
called?
Not a bad looking chart. 4 day, right? 4 day win streak, right? Whoever said you can't have a 5 day win streak? Actually, it is a 5 day. Nope, 4 day win streak, 1898, pressing up against the high. Now here's a gap fill. Jonas, are you still around, or did you go get a snack or something? Here's a gap fill. Right, you had a patient seller, and then they just yacked it on this day. You created a gap between 1853 and 1876. You filled the gap nicely here, so everyone here got their money back. Things are wide open here between 19 and 20, but that would be a daily target for the next day. But first, what you got to do is you got to, first of all, keep this winning streak going and then build a support level above 18. Just as I doubted the 94 and a quarter print, we just went up and touched 86 there. So finding some buyers on the close. I didn't see what the imbalances were. Someone's mentioning Kathy Higher today. Oh, tell me it didn't make it. If it made a new low for the move. No, bad day. Trading technically though, you gotta look at yesterday's high. High and the close are right by each other. 77.08, 77.38, and didn't hold that for long. Not sure what happened to ARK or ARK today, but not moving with the market.
We got 2 minutes left here in the session, and it's a relatively quiet close here, so there's not much to really say about that.
Okay.
We'll do some more things from the chat. Uh, TXN. I mean, it's moving in the same direction as the semis.
Semis,
So
chips,
yeah.
gotta have chips, EVs. I had Matt Bryson on from Wedbush and PreMarket Prep Plus. I mean, you have the metaverse, which is not even kicking in yet. You have 5G. Communications are the biggest consumers of chips, and then you have all this EV demand. So, I mean, if you not Intel chips, unfortunately, but every other kind of Intel's not having a bad day.
Sure, here's
Every other kind of chip out there.
Okay, here's one we haven't talked about for a long time. I feel like is Skechers.
Skechers. I knew you were gonna say that.
Yeah.
I have I have two pairs of Skechers. Haven't the hiking shoes are not bad. It's trying. That major support there under 40. Uh, if you're looking for more upside here on the Sketcher, you do have you got some resistance above here. Uh, what is this high here? 335. It kissed right here, and then this high right here was 321. Close enough for me to call the double top. So that's my target for you. 43.30 before you get another leg up in Skechers. Someone's talking. Is Visa still running?
I don't know.
Visa, yeah. Whew. Wow. Gap and go off the earnings report, continuing to surge higher. I would just caution you, Visa investors. 236.96 was your high back in October. Today you hit 235.85. So make sure you clear this, that monthly high before you get too excited about another leg up. And what about UPS? How is UPS doing? Is that thing still trucking?
Probably.
Inside day. Inside day. Nothing to worry about. Big old gap. But let's see. What looks like you're gonna get a double close area. So 230.69 closed yesterday. Didn't make a higher high, but is posting a bigger close. Volume really tapering off here in UPS. So that close from today is going to be pretty important, along with that all-time high at 33.72. Spencer, are you going to get your galoshes on and hit the road?
I don't know what a galosh is,
You don't
but
know what
yeah.
galoshes? You've never heard of that term? How
Wait, wait, wait,
galoshes?
wait, wait. I have a new one for you. Aaron Bree did not know what a knish was. Can you believe that?
And he's Jewish?
That's what I said. It's exactly what I said, Joel. It's 4 o'clock. If I don't leave now, I'm going to spend the night in the office. So I'm going to go. See, there he is. And we got to get out of here, man. If we don't want to sleep here tonight. All
Okay.
right. So, all right. At the close, we're closed. We're done. We're green across the board. There it is. Everyone have a great rest of your day. And we'll catch you guys tomorrow morning. And thank you, Dino. And yeah, that's a wrap.